33rd place out of the Extravaganza this past weekend was a cool little contraption. It was a Melfi player. Now, I have not seen Melfi do anything. Alright, now, the most that we were hyped about this deck was we actually have a cool little Melfi combo with, I believe it's this one, where you can hold on, it's one of these two. Joyous Melfis. You detach material, your Melfi monster can attack directly this turn. So you're basically able to stick two beast or two level 2 monsters on the field, use this effect on itself, and you're able to make a Zeus. That was the most excitement that we had going for this as it went forward. Now, I've profiled Melfi a couple of times on this channel over the general course of the X Days deck profiles series, and this deck does some things good, and this deck does some things alright. And one of those things is when you win the dice roll, you get access to the Naturia Beast, and then the Naturia Beast puts pressure on your opponent, not allowing them to effectively play the game. So the more problems that we can put on the field to put the opponent into submission is where this deck has its best chances of seeing victory. So to see this deck at 33rd place, it's not top 32, it's not top 16, it is on the bubble of top 32. But to see this deck succeeding in doing this, putting itself in that position, is a good thing, which means players are playing this strategy, players are adapting this, and we are seeing frickin' success for it. Alright? So, 33rd place. Alright? Don't you ever forget. Alright? So, we have double copies of Alpha, Master of Beast. Triple copies of Artifact, Lancia. You don't want dinosaurs to do their thing. Anytime that dinosaurs are able to be an issue for you, you're going to want this. Also, first up, when your entire deck is all beast, the more advantage that you can generate off of this stupid good card, the better position you're going to find yourself in. Alright, so I guess you could try to play 3 of this, because I understand that we're already playing a 42 card deck, but I think that 2 alpha probably is going to be your best chance. Alright, if you're trying to bulk down on more of this, you're just going to run into some issues, and it's not even worth it. Triple copies of Ash Blossom. The approach I see here is we are on 12 hand traps in the main deck here, which means that for the most optimized thing here, you're going to need to make sure that you can get to those hand traps. 42 messes with your ratios like 2% and doesn't really matter, but for argument's sake, you want to make sure that you're as consistent as you can be. Speaking of consistent, more going second cards. So we literally have 1 Pankratops and double alpha to make sure that our going second boards are just the sickest cool thing in the world. Alright, I got you. I understand. Alright, we have the 1 Hop Ear Squadron. So during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster you control, special summon this card from your hand immediately after you do with this effect. Synchro summon 1 synchro monster using only this card you control and that target. You know what we like to do with this, right? Make Herald. Herald gives us a negate. Our opponent has to deal with this negate. And if they don't, they're going to have a bad frickin' time. I just love the fact that we can make the Herald on the opponent's turn and just make their life so much more inconveniencing. We have the 2 copies of the Colonisto. On special summon by the effect of a beast card, our beast monster, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. I've seen a lot of builds opting to just push to 1 of this, but the fact that you are able to deploy this on the opponent's turn as the interruption is going to be the reason why you're going to want to play more of this. So I think that 2 Callisto is fine for that aspect. I guess if you're only playing 1, you're going to risk the issue of it being a dead draw. Like, once they out it, you're in that position, you're like, uh-oh, what do? Then we have triple copies of Melfi Caddy. Now remember, all the Melfis all have the clause of during your end phase, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then they all have another sub clause of if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during damage step, or if an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack. So those are all going to be your basic clauses on this. So this one, you can return this card to your hand, and you can target one beast monster, or add a beast monster from your deck to your hand. So this is actually going to be our universal searcher, in addition to, hey, during the end phase, I just get to come back out of the hand if it's your turn. Like, that's the cool thing. Like, if you open up like 3 of these, you can just go set up your back row, whatever you need to do, and then go end phase. Out comes the entire woodland creatures. So that's interesting. Donkey or pony here. If your opponent normal or special summons monster except damage step, or if your opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, you return this card to your hand, and then you can add a level 2 or lower beast monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this can actually recycle your Callisto here, in the case of if you were playing one of it. Outside of that, the only thing you care about here is this is going to be a generic recycling engine for you. And then the triple copies of Puppy, normal or special summon, or if your opponent monster targets this card for an attack, you return it to your hand, and you can special summon a level 2 or lower beast monster from your deck. And that means that we can summon the Callisto here, and then pop the opponent's monster. Yes, that's exactly what that means. Then we have triple copies of Space Rock and triple copies of Gamma. I do want to say here that I think Gamma is the power hand trap in this deck. Like, being able to bring out 3,500 onto the board, extra link materials even, this is good. We also have triple copies of Rescue Cat, getting the special summon. Basically, if this gets to go through, you're getting a free Natty Beast. Then we have 2 copies of Karis. So you can discard your beast monster from your hand to special summon this. And then you'll link out with it. And then you can do the advanced link summon from your graveyard to summon the Fruitless here. And then you can use the Fruitless to... Okay, during the main phase, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower beast monster from your hand. So you can bring out another copy of whatever we've opened, depending on the situation. So this acts as an extender. Then we can link out with this to make a Boral Sword to OTK our opponent. We don't really have... I guess you can also convert and make an IP if you really need to. It depends on the situation. We have 1 copy of Ralph Ron. You can discard 1 card, target a level 2 or lower beast monster in your graveyard, except for Ralph Ron, special in an attack position or face down. It's an extender. And then we have the 1 copy of the Yoko Tuna. If this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 tuner monster from your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated. This is a beast monster, by the way, so enjoy making your easier beast. We have the 1 driver, 2 copies of Irish Sunrock, special summon a beast monster from our graveyard. It's free real estate. 1 copy of Called by the Grave, the Feather Duster. The stupid hide and seek, man. First time your beast monster you control will be destroyed by card effect each turn, it is not. Alright? And then you can shuffle 3 beast monster with different names back into the deck to draw a card. The Melfi tag lets you special summon a Melfi monster from your graveyard once per turn. And then Obedience School, because making more Naturia Beast is so freaking good. Extra deck down here is pretty basic stuff. We have the Baron Blossom, the Unicorn, and the IP. You will be able to do the IP Unicorn play a lot in this deck. We also have the 1 Boral Sword, the 1 Asa, 1 Trident, the 1 Sky Cavalry, because 2 level 2 monsters to make the Sky Cavalry, to bounce an opponent's monster to make the Zeus is really good. We have the 1 Ronin Raccoon, the 1 Mannequin Cat, the 1 copy of Melfies of the Forest and Joyous Melfies here, 1 Zeus Machine, 1 Naturia Beast with 2 Herald of the Arclight. And then our side deck here is 2 DD Crow, 2 Droll and Lockbird, 2 Ghost Bell in the Haunted Mansion, triple copies of Cosmic Cyclone with triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, and triple copies of Ice Dragon's Prison, wrapping up the 33rd place Extravaganza Melfi deck for everybody. And we're not doing Amazonas Baby Tigers in here. I do like that we see other options available for you to play this deck. And going forward, I hope that this will inspire some people out there to try some of these cool concepts with these decks and actually see that, hey, this deck is performing and you do have a chance to do something. Just don't let your strategy go to waste. All right? So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I will see your beautiful faces later on in the day for some more goodies. All right, guys. Peace out.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.